Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I got a request to do a video over the solving quadratics with square roots that we covered on Friday. So I'll do a couple examples here. These are all from the page that we did in class on Friday, and that page was homework if you did not finish. So as you may recall, our first strategy for solving quadratics, we set everything equal to 0 and then solved by factoring. So let's do that in order to see why that doesn't always work out and why we need this other strategy of solving by using the square root. So I'm taking 85 from both sides, and of course these will cancel, leaving 0. And on the right hand side, the 10m squared will come straight down. 5 minus 85 is negative 80. And then we can get rid of the 10 in front of the m squared by dividing each term by 10. So far, so good. These will cancel, leaving a single m squared minus 8 equals 0. Now at this point we could go ahead and factor and say m plus something times m minus something, because this is a difference of two squares, equals 0. But what numbers add together to equal 0 but multiply together to equal negative 8? You can try all the factors of 8, 1 and 8, but that won't work because those add together to equal negative 7. 2 and 4 won't work either because those add to be negative 2. And changing the sign won't make much of a difference because we want them to cancel out altogether. So since we can't find integer factors, we need another approach. So instead of solving for 0 or setting the quadratic equal to 0, I'm going to solve for m squared. Taking 5 from both sides, these cancel, leaving 10 times m squared equal to positive 80. And again, we can rid ourselves of this 10 in front of the m squared by dividing each term by 10. So the 10 and the 10 cancel to make 1, or a single m squared. And 80 divided by 10 is 8. So now all we've got to do is handle this guy right here. It's an m squared, and the way you undo the squaring operation is with its inverse, the square root. So take the square root of both sides. And the square cancels with the square root, leaving m equal to the square root of 8, which is about 2.828. And then since it's irrational, it'll continue on. And one last important detail, every time we take the square root of something, we introduce two possible answers, one positive and one negative. So this is really positive and negative square root of 8. And this guy right here is our answer. But this in particular is really the only one I care about. Sometimes we will need a decimal approximation. To say positive and negative square root of 8 is good enough. Here's number 15 from the back side of the page. We start with 100x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. So solve for x squared, adding 9 to both sides, leaving 100x squared equal to positive 9. Now divide both sides by 100. X squared equals 9 divided by 100. Now take the square root of both sides. Square roots always give two answers, one positive, one negative. And the square root acts on both the numerator and the denominator of the fraction. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 100 is 10. So our answer is x equals 3/10 and x equals negative 3/10. One last thing that's worth noting. Our answer to number 1 was the square root of 8. But of course, the square root of 8 is equal to the square root of 4 times 2, which is equal to the square root of 4 times the square root of 2. And the square root of 4 is 2. So the square root of 8 is actually equal to what we call 2 roots of 2, or 2 times the square root of 2. It's something you'll learn eventually, so you may as well see it now. We've got 2 more factoring strategies to learn, and it is an uphill battle, so be prepared to take more notes tomorrow.